Hello and welcome back. Does the material of a flute make any difference in the tone it produces? There are a wide variety of materials you can make a flute from: wood, metal, plastic, PVC, acrylic, CFRP, and of course, the master, bamboo. So, coming back to the question, does the material matter? The answer can be yes or no, depending on what perspective you're looking at it from. Let's quickly recap how the sound is produced. We blow air here, and that air is it's oscillating in and out, and that's causing a pulse within the tube of the flute, and that pulse is reflecting from the open end of the flute back to here, and then that reflecting pulse is creating feedback to the oscillating jet here, and which actually come together and oscillate at a peak, and that creates a standing wave, and that is what's producing sound here. So the main source of sound here is the air column vibration. It is not the vibration of the material itself, unlike string instruments. So does the flute itself vibrate at all? It does. It gets its energy from the pulsating or the vibrating air column itself. Research says that the mechanical coupling between the vibrating air column and the body of the flute is very minimal, very minimal. And the vibrating body of the flute can cause a little bit of signature timbre to your flute sound, but that is really not the main source. The research also says that the material has to be rigid enough always, and the impact of the material is minimal when everything else is the same. So practically, what does that mean? Can everything else be the same if you use two different materials? That's really the tricky part. That is, most often times everything else is not the same when you use two different materials. This is a wooden flute, and if you bore this, you are not likely to get the same kind of smoothness that you would get in a bamboo naturally. However, when you use PVC, probably you're going to get the same sort of smoothness inside. Now the thickness has a big impact on the sound. So can the thickness be the same? It can be the same if you make it the same. What people have done is actually they made seven different flutes of seven different materials. This is not the bansuri, but the Western flutes, and they made them of gold, silver, and wide varieties of gold and things like that. And seven experts made them. Seven experts played them, and seven different experts listened to all of them and tried to figure out which one is which. And the result is totally random, which means nobody could figure out which flute was what. So practically, what are the points that we would consider? First of all, a good sound, good timbre. So bamboo, we know, produces good timbre, and then so does actually PVC. I mean, we may have some, we may look down to PVC material, but as far as the timbre is concerned, it is very close to bamboo or maybe the same. When it comes to CFRP, carbon fiber reinforced plastic, it's again like bamboo. It's a composite structure. Its pulp is actually plastic resin, and its strengthening material, the reinforcing material, is the carbon fiber. So it has the same advantage as bamboo, which makes it much lighter, and it's a lot more resilient. It is really hard to break this material. Then the other thing is the compatibility. That is compatibility with humans. Is it okay to put this at my mouth? Well, I'm no medical expert, but what I think is that carbon is something that we eat every day. That's not the problem. But it is the plastic that we should not be eating every day. Now, the question is, by keeping this here and then blowing this way, am I inhaling this plastic? Am I consuming more plastic than by drinking water from a plastic bottle? I'm not sure. I'll let you decide for yourself. Now, one of the interesting materials is actually glass, a flute made of glass, really glass. So this is a borosilicate glass, which is also known as crystal. It gives some special characteristics to this glass, looks wise and longevity wise. And this is a very nice flute, and this is a Renaissance flute, which is the same as our bansuri, tuned the same way as our bansuri, and it makes a very good sound. and allows you to decorate it nicely as well. However, what I find a bit difficult with this is that if you notice the tone holes, they have a little bit of a lip on them, and that bit of a lip is as compared to the bamboo flute, which does not have any lip there at all. This lip actually makes it a bit harder to close or get a good seal of the holes. So air tends to leak between the finger and the holes. So I find it a bit difficult, but I really like this as a nice showpiece. This is really attractive. And the way these are made is actually they make the tube first, they blow the tube first, and then they reheat it. And each hole is made by heating locally and then poking holes into it, which makes it a very challenging thing because you have very little time and you're playing with fire and then molten material at the same time. So getting this precision with this material is quite challenging. Tuning of this flute is extremely good. I do personally like bamboo flutes because they are natural and they're replenishable and they're biodegradable. So this is a lot less invasive and easy on the earth. And tone wise, they are really very good. So they're excellent in many ways. And other materials, I have no issues with them. I do play and I use them from time to time. They're easy to carry, easy to maintain, and many other things. They have their own advantages. From a scientific perspective, if everything else is the same, all materials are the same. They don't really make a big impact on the timbre or quality of the flute. But more from a practical perspective, we talked about a few aspects, and those are the matters that actually matter in how you want to choose and which flute you want to use. Thanks for watching.